of the academic regalia is the gown, which varies in style and color, depending on the level of education and the academic institution. The gown is often black, but doctoral gowns may feature. The length of the gown and the shape of the sleeves also differ, distinguishing between bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. The bachelor's gown is a simple robe that covers the entire body. The master's gown has longer closed sleeves, while the doctoral robe is usually the most elaborate. The robes are designed with the addition of the 3 velvet bands on the sleeves and velvet facing running down the front of the gown. The next significant aspect is the hood, which is worn draped over the shoulders and down the back. The hood's color represents the academic discipline and the institution conferring the degree. The length and the width of the hood signify the level of education and the field of study. The velvet trim of the hood further indicates the degree level, with different colors for bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. Lastly, we have the mortarboard or the academic cap. Its square shape and tassel are recognized symbols of education. The design of the headgear may depend on the level of academic achievement and to some extent on the individual's academic institution's specification. While the mortarboard cap, which is square in shape, is traditionally used with academic regalia as a standard for all other levels of degrees. Velvet tam, which is circular in shape, is for the award of a doctoral degree. What is common between the mortarboard cap and the tam is that both do have tassels attached to them, which hang on one side when worn. Traditionally, the tassel is worn on the right side of the cap and shifted to the left during the graduation ceremony to mark the official conferral of the degrees. Academic regalia in Adeleke University is in accordance with tradition. The academic regalia for Adeleke University consists of a gown, a cap, and a hood. The academic regalia for bachelor's degree in Adeleke University consists of a gown made of black material with distinctively shaped open sleeves, a simple hood lined outside with faculty color, and the cap is a black cloth mortarboard with golden tassel. The academic regalia for our master's degree is the same color and pattern as that of the bachelor's, except that the hood is full shape lined with faculty color, and the cap is a black cloth mortarboard with golden tassel. Our PhD gown is also black in color and is designed with 3 cardinal red velvet bands on the sleeves and cardinal red velvet facing running down the front of the gown, as you will see when they decorate the graduates. The doctoral hood is full shape and easily recognizable, with full exposure of the lining and white velvet edge. To the glory of God, this year again, 4 faculties in Adeleke University are presenting PhD graduates. The robes for Adeleke University officers, they wear colored gowns, resembling doctoral gowns. This usually includes the addition of 3 sleeve bars. The gown, the cap, and the hood reflect the 2 colors of Adeleke University, which are sunset blue and royal blue. The royal blue symbolizes richness and excellence, while the sunshine yellow is a warm color that denotes hope and happiness. This hooding ceremony is a very special ceremony that adds to the graduation experience by making it possible for us to focus just on our PhD graduates and their accomplishments. This occasion gives all of us an opportunity to witness the ceremonial hooding of each PhD graduate in a very intimate setting. Today, we are presenting the 4th edition of this university tradition. I join others to congratulate all our PhD degree recipients on these laudable achievements. The PhD degree is awarded in recognition of a program of independent research. The hood is a special part of the academic regalia that denotes the scholarly and intellectual achievements of a graduate. During this ceremony today, the supervisor of each doctoral candidate shall place the doctoral hood over the head of the graduate. This signifies their success in completing the graduate program. The doctoral hooding ceremony symbolizes the passing of guard. We are passing the guard from one generation to the next generation. The placement of doctoral hood on the graduates by his or her thesis supervisors signifies the completion of an ambitious scholarly journey and welcomes the recipients to the rank of academic scholars. This hooding ceremony is also a testimony to the importance of mentorship. Great mentors not only train and nurture students, but they also inspire them to a lifetime passion for research, scholarship, and creativity. Mentors and their mentees stay connected in friendship, scholarship, and service to the profession. Furthermore, the hood represents the continuity of mentorship. As your mentors are hooding you today, they are passing on a tradition onto you that you are supposed to also pass to the next generation. As each of you, the PhD recipients of today, will also become mentors for other people from today. In conclusion, the academic regalia tradition is not just a matter of aesthetics. It serves to foster a sense of community, tradition, and achievements. When each of the doctoral candidates of today don their regalia, they become part of a long-standing lineage of scholars and of hard work, dedication, and perseverance required to reach this milestone today in an academic journey. Moreover, the regalia tradition promotes a sense of equality and inclusion, regardless of background, race, or gender. When students and faculty members don their academic regalia, they are all equal in the pursuit of knowledge and the celebration of scholarly achievements. It brings people together, creating a sense of unity and shared purpose. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the academic regalia tradition is a testament to the rich history and enduring legacy of academia. It symbolizes the pursuit of knowledge, academic achievements, and the unity of scholars. As we continue to celebrate academic milestones and gather for formal occasions, let us honor and appreciate the tradition of academic regalia, for it represents the time-honored values and aspirations that bind us together as a community of learners. To the 2024 doctoral class, your perseverance and dedications have paid off. As we close this chapter and embark on the next, remember that your education is a powerful tool to shape the world. Your doctoral journey has prepared you to tackle complex challenges and push boundaries. Therefore, I challenge you to go out there and change the world. Congratulations on earning your doctoral degree. May your future be bright, and may your impact be profound. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much, Professor Temitope Oyedepo, for giving us that beautiful narrative on the academic regalia tradition. With us today is one of us who is the immediate past Dean, Faculty of Science, also one-time Commissioner of Environment in Osun State, and now with the Federal University Adeleke. She is Professor Olubukola Oyawoye. Prof, you're most welcome. She's here today as a supervisor of one of the graduates that we are celebrating. Also, as a supervisor of one of the graduates that's being celebrated, is also one of us, the immediate past Director, Office of Research, Grants and Linkages, Professor Ademola Ayeleso. Prof, you're most welcome. It was Mahatma Gandhi who said, "Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever." It will interest you, ladies and gentlemen, that among the celebrants of today is a septuagenarian. It took him that long, but it says it's better late than never. At the appropriate time, you'll be seeing him. So we've now arrived at why we are here today. To present the candidates to be hooded today. I have the privilege to invite to the podium the Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, as he comes to present his candidate, Professor James Ebu Atolagbe. A round of applause as he comes forward.
Thank you very much. We have now come to the main event. I would like to take this time also to congratulate once again our new doctoral candidates. And the Lord will be with you as you set forth to change the world. And you will definitely make a difference in the name of Jesus. I will begin to read the names in sequence of those who are going to be up front here. And you all know the procedure. I'll start with Akambi Sunday Olubenga.
A round of applause for Akambi Sunday Olubenga of the Department of Languages and Literary Studies. He had as his area of specialization language semiotics. Please stand right here beside me. His research thesis was titled "A Semiotic Study of Nigerian Fourth Republic Political Parties' Logos." He was supervised by Professor Labo Popola Olubumi and co-supervised by Dr. Folorunsho Oladapo. Summary of his findings and contribution to knowledge. This study reveals that political party logos comprise various signifiers, including images, colors, and linguistic expressions, which symbolize cultural, social, ecological, agricultural, and political inclinations. The strategic selection of color combinations by political parties creates aesthetic, pleasing logos that convey their ideological messages. The findings of this research contribute to the existing body of knowledge, providing valuable insights for political analysts, social commentators, and researchers. Moreover, this study has practical applications for students, government policymakers, and political parties seeking to understand the effective use of logos in political branding. Candidates' personal reflection. Any creature with a brain is a whole being. With the brain in perfect condition, human beings could be creative and have the ability to do anything. I became creative when my father died. My actions were proactive. Progressively, I was climbing the ladder of life with the feat of becoming a PhD holder. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Akanbi Sunday Olubenga. I now invite the President and Vice Chancellor to come and give the order for the hooding ceremony.
You can now go ahead and hold the candidate.
Thank you, sir. Are there 4 family members of the graduates? Family members, 4 family members of the graduates. So please take note as we call the celebrants, 4, not more than 4, okay? Family members may come and stand by the aisle until you are ushered to come and take photographs with the celebrant. So immediately you hear the name of your family member being called as he's coming out, make sure you come out as well. So we would have the bouquet presentation by Chief Dr. Modupe Adeleke Sani. All right, thank you very much.
Next, we have Clement Victoria Olabisi.
Clement Victoria Olabisi, Area of Specialization, Economic History, Department of History. Our thesis was titled Women in Oil Palm Production and the Economic Development of Ekiti Land, 1900 to 2010. She was supervised by Professor Edo Victor Osaro and co-supervised by Dr. Ugbogo McLean. The summary of findings and contribution to knowledge. This research examined the significant contributions of women to Ekiti's economic development between 1900 and 2010. The study also uncovered the need of Nigeria to enhance its production and export capability to reclaim its global leadership position in the palm oil industry. The study encouraged the government to find more machinery to facilitate the manufacturing of high-quality oil palm products, therefore promoting economic growth and development. The candidate's personal reflection. Adeleke is home away from home. This esteemed citadel of learning offers a transformation experience where I not only gained knowledge, but also fostered meaningful connections and dedicated lecturing. I present to you Clement Victoria Olabisi. I call on the VC.
You can now go ahead and hold the candidate.
I invite Chief Mrs. Sonny to present the bouquet. I also invite the family members to take pictures with her. Please move forward.
Next, we have Agbabiaka Nuruddin Oladipupo.
Agbabiaka Nuruddin Oladipupo. I believe the family members are also stepping out. He's of the Department of Religious Studies, and area of specialization was Islamic Studies. The thesis title, A Critical Appraisal of Centenary Islamic Praxis in Ijebu-Ode, 1920 to 2019. He was supervised by Professor Abdul Fattah Makinde and Professor Martina Oguntoyibo Atere. Summary of findings and contribution to knowledge. Islam entered Ijebu-Ode in 1879 and has been peaceful since then. Physical, in-person, street-by-street dawah employed up to the 1980s by the early clerics to propagate Islam and populate the religion was stopped and replaced with the social media dawah since year 2000 by later clerics. Zakat was poorly practiced, and the Awujale determined who became the Grand Chief Imam of Ijebuland, reintroducing street-by-street dawah, educating the ulama more on the importance of paying zakat, among other things, was recommended. The candidate's personal reflection: Adeleke University is a very conducive institution for learning. The academic staff are friendly and thorough in their work. The non-teaching staff are always willing to assist you to accomplish your task at their desks. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Agbabiaka Nuruddin Oladipo, and I invite the Vice Chancellor to come and declare.
You can now hold the candidates.
I invite Chief Mrs. Sonny to present the bouquet.
I call on Egbe Ikechukwu Kalu. Egbe Ikechukwu Kalu.
His supervisors can come up stage. Egbe Ikechukwu Kalu, area of specialization, Old Testament. His thesis was titled Anti-Abduction Laws and Selected Passages in Old Testament and its implication for kidnapping in Southeast Nigeria. His supervisors can stand behind him, please. It was supervised by Dr. Ucheawaji Josiah and co-supervised by Professor Martina Oguntoyinbo Atere. The summary of findings and contribution to knowledge. The study revealed that Ganab rendered as to steal or kidnap is situated within the moral law and prohibits any form of theft, including the stealing of humans. Hence, the anti-abduction law, which were given to forestall and eradicate evil in the land. Various efforts to curtail abduction in Nigeria has failed due to weak sanctioning and ineffective implementation of the existing laws. Candidate personal reflection. Considering the distance I covered during this program from Ogoja to Ede, the task was great. The coursework, researches, seminars, and presentation were excellent. The lecturers and supervisors are great and wonderful encouragers. I invite the Vice Chancellor, sir.
You can now hold a candidate.
I invite Chief Mrs. Sonny. Family members.
The next person, Adagbasa Ehimare.
Adagbasa Ehimare is from the Department of Public Health, and the area of specialization is epidemiology. He was supervised by Professor James Atolagbe and co-supervised by Professor Oyeshegun Oyerinde. His research thesis was titled Prevalence and Determinants of Hypertension and Diabetes mellitus among Senior and Junior Police Officers in Osun State, a comparative study. Summary of his findings. The results of this investigation revealed a significant disparity in the prevalence of hypertension and diabetes mellitus between senior and junior police officers. This study makes a significant contribution to the existing literature on the management of hypertension and diabetes mellitus, particularly in the context of police officers. The findings provide valuable insights for policymakers, healthcare professionals, and law enforcement agencies highlighting the need for targeted interventions and health promotion strategies to address these health concerns within the police force. Candidates' personal reflection. This PhD program has given me the opportunity to have good knowledge on how serious the problem of hypertension and diabetes mellitus is among the different cadres of police officers in Osun State. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Adagbasa Ehimari, and I invite the Vice Chancellor.
The candidate can now be hooded.
And I invite Chief Doctor Mrs. Modupe Adeleke Sonny to present the bouquet. Hold on, family members.
Aderinwale Adeola Dorcas. Aderinwale Adeola Dorcas.
Aderinwale Adeola Dorcas, area of specialization, epidemiology. Our thesis was titled Effect of Interactive Education on Uptake of Cervical Cancer Screening and Vaccination of Adolescent Girls in Osun State. She was supervised by Professor Oladimeji Oladepo and co-supervised by Professor James Ebun Atolagbe. The supervisors can stand behind her. Summary of findings and contribution to knowledge. Targeted interactive health education intervention that addressed vaccine safety issues and misconception, as well as provision of screening services, increased awareness about cervical cancer, and enhanced uptake of screening and vaccination of the girls. This study identified the strong influence of male partner to uptake of cervical cancer preventive services by mother and daughter. Candidate's personal reflection. Looking back, what began with a spark of curiosity had finally become a full-blown personal development academically and emotionally. The greatest joy is that the PhD has left me with a toolkit for independent research, critical thinking, and resilience to face future challenges. Vice Chancellor, sir.
Thank you. You can now hold the candidate.
Family members. Family members, please come up. I invite Chief Dr. Adeleke Son.
Adeyemo Sunday Charles. Adeyemo Sunday Charles.
Adeyemo Sunday Charles, from the Department of Public Health, had his area of specialization as epidemiology and medical statistics. He was supervised by Professor James Atolagbe and co-supervised by Dr. Okpeyemi. Summary of his findings and contribution to knowledge. The study demonstrates that a community-based health education intervention can significantly contribute to the control of epidemic schistosomiasis in Das Emirate, Bauchi State, Nigeria. By educating the community, we can enhance the effectiveness of existing control measures such as praziquantel distribution and provision of potable water, and ultimately flatten the curve of schistosomiasis prevalence. The findings have important implications for public health policies and practice, highlighting the crucial role of community engagement and education in the control and elimination of schistosomiasis. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Adeyemo Sunday Charles as I invite the Vice Chancellor.
You can now hold a candidate.
Adeyemo Sunday Charles has the personal reflection as follows: determination, dedication, and discipline are essential ingredients of ideal living. Now I invite Chief Dr. Mrs. Modupe Adeleke Soni for the presentation of the bouquet. Family members.
Akínpẹ̀lú Ayọ̀dèjì Akínyẹmí. Akínpẹ̀lú Ayọ̀dèjì Akínyẹmí.
Akínpẹ̀lú Ayọ̀dèjì Akínyẹmí. Area of specialization, Public Health Administration and Management. His thesis was titled Assessment of Quality of State Social Health Insurance Scheme and Utilization by the Informal Sector Recipients in Osun State. It was supervised by Professor Mohammed Saka and co-supervised by Professor Olusegun Ayorinde. Summary of findings and contribution to knowledge. The study highlights the need to target the informal sector population in driving the success of social health insurance scheme achieved through sensitization and attitudinal change, as well as registration of private pharmacy outlets. I present to you Akínpẹ̀lú Ayọ̀dèjì Akínyẹmí. Vice Chancellor, sir.
You can now hold a candidate.
Candidate's personal reflection. The best thing about the future is that it comes on time and at a time. So the candidates encourages us that whatever you are, be the best. I present to you Akinpelu Ayodeji Akinyemi. I welcome Chief Mrs. Sonny to present the bouquet.
Adeleke Kehinde. Adeleke Kehinde.
Adeleke Kehinde had the area of specialization reproductive health and family health care. He was supervised by Professor Lukumi Lanre Olaitan, with the head of department standing in on behalf of the supervisor. He was also co-supervised by Professor Oyeshegun Oyerinde. So I invite the supervisors to stand behind the candidate. The research thesis was titled Implications of Seminal Fluid Analysis on Male Infertility Among Patients Attending Fertility Clinic in Oshogbo. Summary of the findings. This research investigated the factors contributing to abnormal seminal fluid analysis, SFA, and its implications on male infertility. The findings indicate that unhealthy lifestyles and poor medical conditions are significant contributors to the high prevalence of abnormal SFA, which is a major risk factor of male infertility. This research contributes significantly to the existing literature on male infertility management, highlighting the need to shift the burden of infertility away from females and acknowledge the importance of male factor on infertility. The study's findings have important implications for public health policy and practice, emphasizing the need for holistic approaches to address male infertility and improve overall reproductive health. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Adeleke Kehinde as I invite the Vice Chancellor to step forward.
The candidate can now be hooded.
The personal reflection of Adeleke Kehinde is that success is sweet to achieve, but it involves resilience, perseverance, tenacity, and hard work. I invite Chief Dr. Mrs. Modupe Adeleke Sonny for the presentation. Family members,
Fashanu Oluwafunmilayo Adefemi. Fashanu Oluwafunmilayo Adefemi.
Fashanu Oluwafunmilayo Adefemi was supervised by Professor Lanre Olukumi Olaitan and co-supervised by Professor Oyeshegun Oyerinde. I invite the supervisors to stand behind her. Our area of specialization is reproductive and family health. Our thesis was titled Unintended Pregnancy and Effects of Reproductive Health Interventions on Family Planning Uptake Among Women in Osun State. Summary of findings. The study found a high prevalence of unintended pregnancy among women in Osun State, linked to social, cultural, and religious factors. Significant barriers to the uptake of family planning services, increased vulnerability to unintended pregnancy. I invite her and I invite the VC to.
The candidate can now be hooded.
Fashanu Oluwafunmilayo's personal reflection. Finishing my doctoral program feels surreal. What began with a spark of curiosity has become a full-blown exploration, one that pushed me intellectually and emotionally. I started with a test of knowledge, but left with a toolkit to independent research, critical thinking, confidence, and resilience. I invite you, Mrs. Sonny.
Olanrewaju Said Adewale.
A round of applause as the graduate makes his way up stage. Olanrewaju Said Adewale, with the area of specialization, health management and administration, had his research thesis titled as Knowledge Accessibility and Utilization of Tertiary Institutions Social Health Insurance Program among undergraduate students in Osun State. He was supervised by Professor Muhammad Saka and co-supervised by Professor Oyeshegun Oyerinde. I invite the supervisors to stand behind the candidate. The summary of the findings. The study showed a high level of knowledge of tertiary institution social health insurance program, TSHIP, among about half of the respondents. There was also high accessibility, but low utilization of the program by the respondents. On the major contribution to knowledge, the study identified the various factors militating against knowledge, accessibility, utilization, and implementation of TSHIP, and preferred solutions to these factors, especially the need for an improved sensitization of the program among various stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Olanrewaju Said Adewale and invite the Vice Chancellor.
The candidate can now be hooded.
Olanrewaju Said Adewale has the personal reflection as follows. Growth is contagious. So, if you want to reach your goals, you've got to get around people who are going in the same direction you want to go, and you will surely attain success. I invite Chief Dr. Mrs. Modupe Adeleke Sani for the presentation of the bouquet. Family members,
Okay? Olagunju Funsho Abidemi. Olagunju Funsho Abidemi.
Olagunju Funsho Abidemi was supervised by Professor Emmanuel Teju Jolayemi and was co-supervised by Professor James Ebun Atolagbe. I invite the supervisors to stand behind him. His thesis was titled Role of Enhanced Adherence Counseling in Antiretroviral Treatment Failure among Human Immunodeficiency Virus Infected Individuals in Osun State. Summary of findings. Following the institution and collection of enhanced adherence counseling, 161 out of 181 participants had no failure and their ART regimen contained, while 25 still had one or more forms of treatment failures. Residential location and adherence were important factors to reckon with antiretroviral treatment failure. I call on the VC.
You can now hold the candidate.
Olagunju Funsho's personal reflection says, the pursuit of knowledge is an attribute that should be part of daily living. It is often not a task without challenge, but one must strive and be diligent to succeed while becoming one. Almighty God was a source, and he is abundantly grateful. I invite Chief Dr. Modupe Adeleke Sani.
Oyebade Akinwumi Olufemi. Oyebade Akinwumi Olufemi.
Oyebade Akinwumi Olufemi is of the Department of Public Health, and his area of specialization is epidemiology. The thesis title was The Impact of an Intervention Program on HIV Stigma and Discrimination Among Healthcare Providers in Osun State, Nigeria. He was supervised by Professor James Atolagbe and co-supervised by Professor Bode Kayode. Summary of findings. The study found a high prevalence of HIV stigma and discrimination, but mild to moderate forms of HIV stigma and discrimination exhibited by healthcare providers, and the positive impact of education intervention in reducing HIV stigma and discrimination among healthcare providers. The study expanded knowledge on the roles and the design of educational intervention program in the reduction of HIV stigma and discrimination among healthcare providers, which will contribute to improving access to HIV services among people living with HIV. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Oyebade Akinwumi Olufemi as I invite the Vice Chancellor.
The candidate can now be hooded.
The candidate's personal reflection. The PhD program is structured but tough. However, with hard work and persistence, I was able to navigate successfully during the period. I now invite Chief Dr. Mrs. Modupe Adeleke Sani for the presentation. Family members, please step forward.
Moshobalaje Kainde Olubumi. Moshobalaje Kainde Olubumi.
Moshobalaje Kende Olubumi was supervised by Professor Bode Kayode and co-supervised by Dr. Okoyemi Oladuni. I invite the supervisors to stand behind her. Our area of specialization is health promotion. Our thesis was titled Effects of Educational Intervention on Promoting Health Safety Practices Among Body Beauticians in Ejebu-Jesha and Edetown, Osun State. Summary of findings. The audit underscored the crucial role of health education and skill development among body beauticians to maintain high practice standard and safeguard the health of both clients and practitioners. The research contributed significantly by enhancing health safety practices in this industry and identifies the need for targeted intervention to improve practitioners' knowledge, attitude, and behavior. I present to you Moshobalaje Kende Olubumi as I invite the Vice Chancellor.
You can now hold a candidate.
The candidate reflects and says that the PhD program has afforded her the opportunity of having broader knowledge on how public health issues can be controlled and managed. It had also given her the confidence to prepare structures to manage social and health needs in the community. I invite Chief Dr. Modupe Adeleke Sani.
Njoku Lillian Adaku. Njoku Lillian Adaku.
Njoku Lillian Adaku from the Department of Public Health had the area of specialization, health promotion and disease prevention. Her thesis title was Effect of an Educational Intervention on Cervical Cancer Screening, Uptake Among Women Attending Gynecology Clinic in Osun State, in Uni Osun Teaching Hospital, Osun State. She was supervised by Professor James Atolagbe and co-supervised by Professor Oyesegun Oyerinde. Summary of findings. The findings of this study showed the positive increase in the knowledge, perception, attitude, and willingness to participate in cervical cancer screening, which can be attributed to effectiveness of the educational intervention. As such, the strength of educational intervention in any required health-related challenge should not be underestimated. The use of health education training manual is effective in ensuring the uptake and knowledge of women on cervical cancer. The involvement of health workers is effective in gearing and reinforcing women in ensuring increase in knowledge, attitude, and perception of cervical cancer screening. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Njoku Lillian Adaku as I invite the Vice Chancellor.
Thank you. You can now hold a candidate.
Njoku Lillian Adaku's personal reflection is that I thank Almighty God for the accomplishment of this great feat. I now invite Chief Dr. Mrs. Modupe Adeleke for the presentation. Family members, please join.
Adeleke Adebisi Motunrayo. Adeleke Adebisi Motunrayo.
Adeleke Adebisi Motunrayo was supervised by Professor Ono Haluk and co-supervised by Dr. Adeoye Ebonoluwa. Our thesis was titled Forward-Looking Information Disclosures and Value Relevance of Listed Financial Service Firms in Nigeria. The summary and findings. The model employed in this study serves as a contribution to the research community and help researchers employ the model in their research going forward. The study will also improve the knowledge in the body of accounting and help the public understand the significance of companies sharing forward-looking information because its ability to aid them in making well-informed decisions regarding investment decisions. I present to you Adeleke Adebisi Motunrayo. As I invite the Vice Chancellor.
The candidate can now be hooded.
The candidate is grateful to Almighty God, and she says, "Behold, I will do a new thing," in his words, and now it shall spring forth, I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the deserts. She quotes Isaiah 43, verse 19. She also says that God has been there through our journey and he has made everything easy. And she claims and thank God that she is blessed. I invite Chief Dr. Modupe Adeleke Soni to present the bouquet. I invite the family members to come forward.
Next is Mazi Anene Emeka Basil.
Mazi Anene Emeka Basil. Says Anene. Anene. Of the Department of Accounting, area of specialization, auditing, had his research thesis titled Audit Quality, Audit Committee, Characteristics and Financial Performance of Listed Deposit Money Banks in Nigeria. He was supervised by Professor Luke Onuoha and co-supervised by Dr. Eboluwa Adeoye. I invite the supervisors to stand behind the graduand. Summary of findings. The study investigated the relationship between audit quality, audit committee, characteristics, and the financial performance of listed deposit money banks in Nigeria. The study found that for listed deposit money banks to improve their financial performance, there must be a multifaceted approach that considers audit fees, audit firms' practices, audit independence, and audit committee characteristics. By addressing these factors, banks can enhance the credibility and trustworthiness of their financial statements, leading to better financial outcomes. The study's findings can shape future research, inform policy development, and establish best practices in audit and governance within the Nigerian banking sector. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mazi Anene Emeka.
Now, what do I say, my dear boss? You can now hold the candidate.
He reflects as follows. The pursuit of the PhD program was as a result of the following happenstance. First and foremost was the Pro-Chancellor's encouragement and assistance, for which I am indebted. Secondly was the NUC's approval for Adeleke University to run postgraduate programs in accounting. Thirdly, I pursued the PhD program mostly for my personal fulfillment. Just as our children have jestingly asked us, Daddy and Mommy, why are you folks back to school to get your PhDs? Don't you folks realize that by the time you're done, you'll be out of employment market, too old to be hired by anybody? For personal fulfillment and to set a legacy for you children, I answered. He expresses thanks. He says, thank you, Lord. I am now fulfilled. I invite Dr. Mrs. Modupe Adeleke Sani for the presentation. Family members can also step forward.
Next is Adewojo Akinade Adebowale.
Adewojo Akinade Adebowale was supervised by Professor Onoa UD and co-supervised by Professor A. Adetimirin. His thesis was titled Organizational Culture, Motivation, Employee Engagement, and Job Satisfaction in Research Institutes, Libraries in Southwest Nigeria. I invite the supervisors to stand behind him. Summary of findings and contribution to knowledge. The findings of the study revealed that organizational culture, motivation, and employee engagement are influence of job satisfaction among library personnel in the studied research. Specifically, the outcome of the study adds value to the body of literature on the best intervention needed to enhance job satisfaction in Nigeria. I present to you Adewojo Akinade Adebowale, and I invite the Vice Chancellor.
The candidate can now be hooded.
Akinade Adewojo's candidate's personal reflection says, nothing in life is permanent or guaranteed. Everything is subject to change and uncertainty. The one absolute inevitable truth we all face in life will eventually come to an end. While you're at it, make sure you affect someone's life positively. Welcome, Chief Doctor Modupe Adeleke Sani. Family members,
The next person is Babatunde Shade Odunwola.
Babatunde Shade Odunola is from the Department of Library and Information Science. The area of specialization was referencing and user services. The thesis title, Learning Communities, Digital Literacy Skills, Electronic Resources Use, and Research Productivity of Science-Based Faculty in Public Universities in Southwest Nigeria. She was supervised by Professor Ibidapo Oketunji and co-supervised by Dr. Akiniyi Ayobami Adeleke. I invite the supervisors to stand behind the candidate. The summary of the findings of the research. The study contributed to knowledge by providing empirical data to prove that digital literacy skills learning communities, and the use of electronic information resources are important factors for effective and increased research productivity among faculties in universities, especially science-based faculty members in southwest Nigeria. The study has provided stakeholders such as library management, university management, and the government with information on how the possession of digital literacy skills can encourage the use of electronic information resources and how participation in learning communities, activities, functions could improve and strengthen research capacity among science-based faculty members in universities in southwest Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Babatunde Shade Odunola as I invite the Vice Chancellor.
The candidate can now be hooded.
The candidate's personal reflection. Graduating in library and information science has enriched my passion for knowledge and service. I have developed essential skills to manage and curate information, ready to contribute effectively to the field and fostering my commitment to support lifelong learning and equitable access to resources for all. I now invite Chief Dr. Mrs. Modupe Adeleke Sani for the presentation. Family members, please step forward.
Oladoshu Samson Toluwashe.
Oladoshu Samson Toluwashe was supervised by Professor Ibidapo Oketunji and co-supervised by Dr. Saheed Abiola Amzat. I invite the supervisors to stand behind him. His thesis was titled Perceived Ease of Use, Perceived Usefulness, Net Impact, and State's Integrated Financial Management Information System used by civil servants in Osun State, Nigeria. Summary of findings and contribution to knowledge. The study demonstrated that State's Integrated Financial Management System adopted in Osun State promotes effective service delivery. The use of State's Integrated Financial Management System by civil servants in the state is being enhanced by their perceived ease of use, perceived usefulness, and net impact. The study contributed to knowledge by emphasizing